Welcome to Season 11 of the RG10 Podcast, and we're kicking off 2024 with something new, the first ever RG10 Podcast quiz. There are 10 multiple choice questions, all in some way linked to life around here. There's also going to be a few guest stars taking part. Feel free to get in touch with your efforts. The email address is therg10podcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us via our various social media channels. Your prize? Well, kudos, congratulations, and a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. And remember, if we have reason to suspect that you've used Google or copied anyone else's work, then we reserve the right to raise our eyebrows and tut in a disappointed manner. Pencils and paper at the ready. Here's question 1. Episode 1 of Season 10 of the podcast was called Rock and Roll and RG10. It explored Twyford, Wargrave and Sonning's links to the royalty of pop. Early on in the episode, I described an encounter I had with a locally based entertainment superstar coming out of Waitrose in Twyford. Was he A, George Clooney, film star and nephew of Rosemary Clooney, she of Mambo Italiano fame, B, Jimmy Page, lead guitarist in Led Zeppelin, or C, Justin Fletcher, aka Mr. Tumble, whose dad Guy wrote many a song for Cliff Richard. So, here's the question again. In episode 1 of season 10 of the podcast, I described an encounter I had with a locally based entertainment superstar coming out of Waitrose in Twyford. Was it A, George Clooney, B, Jimmy Page, or C, Justin Fletcher, aka Mr. Tumble? Question 2 then, and this is our first guest star. We're going to head over to the Big Plant Nursery on the junction of the A4 and Wargrave Road and hear from Gemma, who is their plant lead. So, let me know, what is the question you're going to be asking the good folk today?
So we would like to know which of these winter flowering plants is known for its scent. A, Skimmia, B, Hellebores, or C, Sarcococca.
So, which of these 3 winter flowering plants are known for their scent? Is it A,
Skimmia,
B,
Hellebores,
or C,
Sarcococca?
Very exciting. You will find out in the next episode of the RG10 podcast. Gemma, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks to Gemma there from the Big Plant Nursery. Question 3 now, and in Season 5, the podcast took a trip to Stanlake Park Wine Estate. And here is the question. Which of these is a tipple that you can buy at Stanlake? Is it A, Hinton Brut, B, Waltham Sparkling Bacchus, or C, Charville Chardonnay? So here are the options. Which of these is a tipple that you can buy at Stanlake Park Wine Estate? Is it A, Hinton Brut, B, Waltham Sparkling Bacchus, or C, Charville Chardonnay? Question 4. Season 7 of Episode 3 was a Halloween special. One of the ghost stories related to a pub in Wargrave where it said that on occasion the cries of a distressed woman can be heard. It's said to hark back to when a previous landlord discovered that his wife was having an affair, so he threw her out and forbade her to see their only child ever again. So is this pub A, the Greyhound, B, the St. George and Dragon, or C, the Bull? Here's that question once more. There was a ghost story in episode 3 of season 7's Halloween special. It talked about a pub in Wargrave where on occasion the cries of a distressed woman can be heard. Was the pub A, the Greyhound, B, the St. George and Dragon, or C, the Bull? Okay, question 5 now, and time for another guest. We're going to head to the Fit 20 studio on Twyford High Street, and here's Paul McGovern, the owner. Okay, Paul, you have a question for us for the RG10 quiz. Go for it. What is it?
As the owner of Fit 20 in Twyford, do I train once a week, 3 times a week, or 5 times a week?
So that is the question. Does Paul train once a week, 3 times a week, or 5 times a week? And of course, when we give you the answer to that one in the next episode, I'll also let Paul tell you a bit more about Fit 20 so he can explain the answer in a bit more detail. Question 6 now, and we're heading over to Woodley to hear from Fiona Firth, who is a pet food nutritionist at Vets Clinic.
Yep, so Vets Clinic is an independent veterinary practice in Woodley. It's just coming up to a year old. It's very different to other practices, very transparent. You can book online, pick the cheapest appointment, choose the vet that you want to see, and you can also see all your pet's history on your account as well. So my question is, why do pet foods contain ash? So the choices are, A, it's added as a filling ingredient to bulk out the food. B, it's added as a source of charcoal to help digestion. Or C, it's a technical term for the mineral content in the food. So one more time, why do pet foods contain ash? Is it A, because ash is added as a filler to bulk out the food? B, it's added as a source of charcoal to help digestion. Or C, it's a technical term for the minerals in the food.
Question 7 now, and in the last series of the podcast, we visited My Cancer, My Choices, a Charleville-based charity making a difference in the lives of those battling cancer. It had recently been handed the King's Award for Voluntary Services, the equivalent to an MBE for charities. Well, they've been kind enough to join us again, and here's Emily Delahaye, Complementary Therapy Lead.
Okay, well, My Cancer, My Choices was established in 2015, and it was established to help people who are going through cancer treatment from the point of diagnosis up until after they finish their treatment, to help them support themselves with all the symptoms they may be feeling with treatment, and all the emotional things along that comes with a cancer diagnosis and treatment.
So, what is the question you have for the listeners?
Okay, so my background is an acupuncturist. So my question is, how long ago were the first Chinese medicine texts written? So the three options are A, 200 years ago, B, 500 years ago, or C, 2,000 years ago. So how long ago were the first Chinese medicine texts written? The options are A, 200 years ago, B, 500 years ago, or C, 2,000 years ago.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Emily.
Thank you.
Question 8 now, and one episode of the podcast that's been listened to multiple thousands of times is episode 2 in season 8. It looks at the tragic air crash on the border of Charleville and Twyford that happened in 1953. 2 men died after their aircraft fell to the ground under mysterious circumstances. Now, it may be that you're unaware of this horrific incident, but the accident has left a legacy that can be found in Charleville Country Park. One of the lakes there takes its name from the ill-fated plane. Is the lake A, Haupt Lake, B, Canberra Lake, or C, Oral Lake? So just to repeat that question, one of the lakes at Charleville Country Park takes its name from a plane that crashed in that area in 1953. Is it A, Haupt Lake, B, Canberra Lake, or C, Oral Lake? Okay, question number 9, and our final guest question. Samantha Rosier is from Camp Mohawk in Walgrave, a multifunctional day centre for children with special needs and their families. Over to you, Sam.
The question is, how many individual children does Camp Mohawk support each year? The options are A, 1,200, B, 1,400, or C, 1,600.
So that is, how many individual children does Camp Mohawk support each year? The options are A,
1,200,
B,
1,400,
or C,
1,600.
Good luck, everybody. Finally then, question 10, and it's all about the Twyford Beer Festival. Which of these is a real act to have appeared at the Twyford Beer Festival? Is it A, folk guitarist Noel Hill, accompanied by Warren Rowe on percussion, B, Big Audio Twynamite, or C, the local Pink Floyd tribute act, Another Brick in the Waltham? So which of these is a real act to have appeared at the Twyford Beer Festival? Is it A, Noel Hill, accompanied by Warren Rowe? Is it B, Big Audio Twynamite? Or is it C, the local Pink Floyd tribute act, Another Brick in the Waltham? So, 10 questions there, and the answers will be in the next edition of the RG10 podcast. If you do fancy sending in your efforts, then please email the RG10podcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us via our various social media channels. Best of luck. Goodbye.